Everyone tells you to speak up, react fast, defend yourself. But what if that instinct, that automatic need to respond, is exactly what keeps you powerless? The person who controls your reaction controls you, and most people never notice it's happening. There is a form of control that leaves no marks. No one is forcing you. No one is giving orders. And yet, somehow, your mood is being decided by a text message. Your confidence is being shaped by a stranger's opinion. Your decisions are quietly bending around what other people might think. Look honestly at your life. How many choices today were truly yours? And how many were reactions to someone else? This is the silent mistake. Not weakness, not ignorance. Just a life lived outward, constantly scanning for external signals, handing over the wheel without ever realizing it. The brain was built for survival, not wisdom. For most of human history, the fastest response kept you alive. So we inherited a nervous system that treats a dismissive comment like a physical threat. That floods the body with urgency before the mind can think clearly. Someone criticizes you, and before a single conscious thought forms, you are already defending, already shrinking, already adjusting yourself to neutralize the discomfort. The reaction comes first. The reasoning comes after. And usually it just justifies what the reaction already decided. Think about this. If your response is always automatic, you are never truly choosing. You are simply being triggered. And whoever holds the trigger holds the power. The Stoics identified this problem 2,000 years ago with surgical precision. Epictetus taught that there are things within our control and things that are not. Our judgments, our responses, our values, these belong to us. Everything else, opinions, outcomes, other people's behavior, does not. The suffering begins the moment we forget this distinction and start treating the uncontrollable as if it were our responsibility to manage. Marcus Aurelius, governing an empire while facing war, betrayal, and personal grief, returned to this idea every single morning. Not because it was easy, because it was necessary. He understood that a man who cannot govern himself cannot govern anything. Power begins inside. But here is the deeper layer most people miss. Carl Jung wrote that until we make the unconscious conscious, it will direct our lives and we will call it fate. The real trap is not that people control you from the outside. It is that old fears, unexamined beliefs, and inherited insecurities operate from the inside, and we mistake them for our own voice. You bend yourself to avoid someone's disapproval. You silence a genuine thought to maintain comfort in the room. You perform a version of yourself that was designed, years ago, to stay safe in environments that no longer exist. Pause for a moment. That strategy may have once protected you. Today, it is quietly costing you everything. The shift is not about caring less. It is about locating yourself more precisely. Ask, in the moment of reaction, is this response coming from my values or from my fear of judgment? Those are two entirely different places. One is yours. One belongs to whoever conditioned you. The goal is not to become unmovable. It is to become deliberate. To build enough inner stillness that you can feel the pull of a reaction and still choose whether to follow it. That small pause, 3 seconds of genuine awareness, changes everything. Imagine this situation. A colleague dismisses your idea in front of others. Your face changes. Something rises. Anger, embarrassment, the instinct to retaliate. The person who reacts from that place has already lost. Not the argument, their composure. And composure is where real influence lives. The person who pauses, who responds from clarity rather than injury, holds something the other person cannot take, their own center. They may still push back, but they do it from solid ground, not from a scramble to recover their ego. This applies to social pressure, to criticism, to competition. Everywhere that the outside world pulls at your sense of self, The question is always the same. Will you respond, or will you simply react? Seneca wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Most of the control others have over us exists entirely in our own minds, in our anticipation of judgment, our rehearsal of rejection, our construction of what they must be thinking. Aristotle called practical wisdom the highest human capacity, not intelligence alone, not good intentions, but the developed, practiced ability to see clearly and respond appropriately, especially under pressure. It is a skill. It grows with use. If this perspective speaks to something real in you, consider subscribing. This channel exists to offer exactly this kind of depth, without noise. Look honestly at your life. Who do you quietly organize your behavior around? Whose disapproval shapes what you say, what you create, what risks you take? Not because you respect their judgment, but because their reaction triggers something uncomfortable you have never examined. What would you do differently if approval were simply not a variable? The gap between your honest answers and your actual life is the exact size of the freedom you have not yet claimed. The person who does this work gains something no external success can provide. Consistency, a self that does not shift depending on the audience, a foundation stable enough to stand on when everything outside is uncertain. This builds a trust in yourself that most people never develop, and from that trust comes clarity. From clarity comes action that is actually yours, not performed, not adjusted for comfort. Genuinely, recognizably yours. No one will hand you this freedom. It is built in small, honest moments. In the pause before the reaction. In the question asked with real curiosity, whose voice is this, and do I actually choose to follow it? The world will always try to tell you what to feel and who to be to earn its approval. You do not have to obey. You only have one life to govern. Begin with the one thing that was always yours, your own mind. Guard it carefully, tend to it daily, and let everything else arrange itself around that quiet, unshakable center. That is where your life actually begins.